Meet the parents.
Sorry. Taught him that in 1 week.
All right, y'all. It's your boy Fro. And today I'm going to be talking about the 2000 film, Meet the Parents, directed by Roach, who also directed the Austin Powers films, starring Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro. An unlikely duo for sure, but it works. It works rather well. So ain't nothing to it but to do it. Right off the bat, this one is very nostalgic for me. So I will have a little bit of bias just because it gives me some good childhood memories. And Meet the Parents is also one of the first DVD covers that I ever remember. Like as a kid, easily 5 or 4 years old, coming across the cover of this film. I do remember easily my mom's and my family at the time watching this heavily. I still like this movie. On a recent rewatch, I found myself still laughing, still had some pretty big chuckles. I do like Ben Stiller as Greg Focker and the way that they're constantly poking fun of his name, the last name Focker. He's a nurse, so they're shitting on him about that in this movie. Ben Stiller, Greg really tries. He puts his heart on his sleeve, but he's a catastrophe character. That's what I like to call him, like the classic Jim Carrey movies where he tries his best, but he fucks up, or like even some Adam Sandler movies here and there. I like to call them catastrophe characters. And that's what I would call Greg. Like the scene he's smoking a cigarette on the top of the house, then he fucking lights the rooftop on fire. He's trying to put it out, and that eventually leads to the altar getting set on fire. Just super insane catastrophe. And I think Ben Stiller made that work rather well in this movie. And it makes me laugh. And it makes me feel sorry for the character a bit too. You're like, oh, damn, like he's a screw up, but he's trying. Robert De Niro plays a retired CIA agent, Jack Barnes. Greg is set to marry Jack's daughter, Pam. And Jack is very serious through the movie. De Niro constantly watching out on Greg. I'll be watching you, which is one of the tagline or one of the famous quotes in the movie. He's always constantly looking over his shoulder, trying to test him to see if he's good for his daughter. And I really like Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro working together in this movie. I think they have a pretty good chemistry. They're at odds through the entire film nearly. But near the end of the movie where Greg finds himself in a hiccup, which is my personal favorite scene in the movie where he's like, bomb, 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 bomb on the airplane. It's such a goofy scene, but that's my personal favorite. Of course, Greg's dumbass. He's like, oh, I can't say bomb on an airplane, bomb. So Jack has to come down, get him out of this situation, fast talk with the personnel in the airport, the security, and he gets Greg out of that hiccup. But so he cares. Jack cares about Greg, but he's definitely testing him and definitely watching his every step when it comes to Pam. Now, I don't mind Terry Polo in the movie as Pam. I think she's cool. She's not irritating or she's not a bad performance whatsoever. I just always thought she was cool. I do like the chemistry and the relationship between her and Greg, but I do feel some type of way when we're introduced to Owen Wilson's character and how Pam and Owen Wilson's character were a thing. And like they're rubbing it. She's not rubbing it, but she's unintentionally kind of rubbing it in Greg's face. And Greg's just like kind of like, of course, this is the situation. So I can feel Greg in that overall, setting. So I don't mind Pam in this movie. I actually like Pam quite a bit more in the sequel, Meet the Fockers. Yeah, she's fine. She's capable enough in this film. But I really do enjoy Blythe Danner's performance as Pam's mother and Jack's wife. She's really sweet, really nice character. I really care about the character when I watch the movies. Even when I was young, she was a nice energy and addition to the film. And even in the sequel, I really like Dina. And in the sequel, she's a little bit crazier because she's trying to get it on more with Jack. She's trying to reignite that sexual side of the relationship. So it is a little bit cringy, but it does make me laugh. But in this movie, she's a really caring mother for Pam. I always like Blythe Danner in these movies. I mentioned Owen Wilson before, who I am a fan of. And he does a good job in this movie. He makes me chuckle. and especially just the weird, awkward relationship and the tension going on between Pam and Greg having to stand by and watching everything. But I am a fan of Owen Wilson, and I like seeing him pretty much in any movie he pops up in. So not a bad addition at all to the movie. Not a big part, but a decent sized role. I remember John Abrahams popping up randomly as one of Pam's brothers, and he plays like either the stoner or the kind of like screw up character in this movie. And John Abrahams plays Bobby in the first Scary Movie, the parody of Billy in Scream. And John Abrahams, I remember that guy. He doesn't get talked about as much nowadays, but he was a good actor. I really like that guy. he was a funny actor. Another favorite character of mine that's not human is Jinx the cat. And Jinxie nearly steals the entire movie in this one and the sequel. Jinxie the cat's awesome. He does the toilets. I'm usually not a big fan of toilet humor. Sometimes I am, but I think the toilet scenes in here were pretty funny. The way Jinxie's using the human toilet. It sounds goofy, and it was pretty goofy, but I liked it. But to wrap it up, I always like Meet the Parents. I think it's a rather harmless flick. It's a pretty decent film. Is this the best comedy ever? I wouldn't say so, but it still gives me laughs and I still enjoy it. There are Ben Stiller films that I enjoy more. Like my favorite one is Tropic Thunder. But I like this film. I'm on the rare side that enjoys Meet the Fockers just a tad bit more than Meet the Parents. I know you can call me crazy for that because this one is way more highly rated than the sequel. I enjoy Meet the Fockers more because of Barbra Streisand and Dustin Hoffman playing Greg's parents and their crazy wonky chemistry that I thought really worked. And I just enjoyed the characters a bit more. And but I still like Meet the Parents. I don't have a problem with it at all. I'm going to give Meet the Parents a light 8 out of 10. And that's it, y'all. It's your boy Fro. If you like Meet the Parents, if you hate it, if you think it's overrated, well, comment below. Let me know your thoughts. And until next time, hit that subscribe button. Fro. Peace.
It's not like I have a bomb in here. It's not like I want to blow up the plane.
Sir!
I just want to stow my bag according to your safety regulations.
Sir!
Hey,
Sir!
if you would take a second and take a little sticks out of your head, clean out your ears, and maybe you would see that I'm a person who has feelings, and all I have to do is do what I want to do, and all I want to do is hold on to my bag and not listen to you. And the only way that I would ever let go of my bag would be if you came over here right now and tried to pry it from my dead, lifeless fingers, okay? If you can get it from my kung fu grip, then you can come and have it, okay? Otherwise, step off, bitch.